is Nuraini Afza. My presentation is going to focus on the portrayals of rural women's empowerment in online news reporting. I would like to begin by introduction. So, the study concerning women empowerment was inspired by the proliferation of feminist movement by 1960s and the emergence of internet in 1980s. So the fierce debates concerning women empowerment via the internet have raged. So these feminist theories have clutched this opportunity to question whether women can be empowered through the internet. So media as a medium to disseminate information is considered as a vital tool towards social change by encouraging equality and social inclusion. So next, what's the meaning of women's empowerment? According to Batliwala, a prominent feminist researcher, she suggests that empowerment is a process in gaining greater control over power resources. As for the online news reporting, according to ICCOMAH, he stated that online news reporting as a new way to report live incidents. Meanwhile, women portrayals in news is seeking to direct women's stories and define their concerns and aspiration within the society. Okay, for this research, I have conducted interviews with 5 informants from the media and women organization representative and content analysis method from local newspapers, which are News Straits Times and Berita Harian. I'm using 3 theories, which are one of them is media framing theory. It's to determine news regarding rural women. Empowerment approach is about a decision-making process to gain power over the news, and women and development, which stated that women as a part of the development. Turning to discussion, the first objective is to examine the roles of media in portraying rural women's empowerment in online news reporting. The first point is spreading awareness and motivation. The roles of media in spreading awareness and motivation through online news reporting can achieve the empowerment goal among rural women. This is because news regarding rural women in the media is important in providing opportunities to share their potential. So media channels have the power to reach and inform the audience on rural women's issues. Media also play a vital role in educating society regarding rural women's role. It has power to educate people on the good and the bad. From the news, the media allows the society to make a noble mission in enlightening people about rural women's role. So these people will acknowledge them for their contribution to a country's development. Okay, decision making in media organization plays an important role in portraying news about rural women because the gender-based decision influence the type of news portrayals on rural women. According to Nuraini and Ahmad, they emphasize that women need to involve in decision-making process to participate the impact of empowerment. So in this context, the increasing of women leadership in a media organization, especially in decision-making level, allows the success of empowerment as more news regarding rural women can be highlighted publicly. The last point of the first objective is balance and fairness. The accuracy of news plays a significant aspect in confirming and making a natural division between the balance and fairness of a news portrayal. So the media is reflecting the social reality of rural women. So this unbalanced news about rural women is due to limited information, and it is difficult to get news in certain area. So the media is responsible to project message about rural women and their equal participation publicly. Okay, for the next objective is to analyze the issues concerning rural women's portrayal in online news reporting. For the first point is online participation. Based on the findings, online participation by rural women is very low. So this is contrary to some technology savvy. They benefits the use of ICT to establish their business and generate income. It shows that the technology is becoming an essential tool for rural women to expand their potential. Local organizational collaboration between the media and women's organization need to intensify in order to achieve empowerment goal. You can see that limited staff in media organization contributes to the least portrayals of rural women, as they had to cover news about these rural women in secluded area. So there are least information for the women organization concerning rural women's issues. These both entities between the media and women's organization can create networks, programs, and provide specific needs for women's participation in the news. So the collaboration between the media and women organization can be strengthened publicly in online news reporting. Freedom of expression on rural women in the media give them opportunities to voice out their issues. However, they face some obstacles in voicing out, which leads to the delay of empowerment process. So the findings indicate that the media never restrict rural women's expression, as it depends on the news value. So Lanza, the scholar, has indicated that women's involvement in strengthening the practices of freedom of expression in media organizations. So it is suggested that the empowerment process can be strengthened as long as the freedom of expression were practiced in media organization. Newsworthiness is a crucial element in writing news, as well as women's portrayals in online news reporting. So the media tend to highlight rural women's struggles and hardship from the perspective of women organization. It is unfair for rural women as it gives negative news towards the public. However, the empowerment and newsworthiness can be varied in this context, as the purpose of the media is to publish news concerning rural women, no matter in positive or negative perspective, as long as the news is worthy. The last objective is to identify the themes of rural women's empowerment in online news reporting. For this research, there are three themes, which are economy, social, and politics. Based on the findings, social theme is the most portrayed in Berita Harian and News Straits Times Online. It is because the media tend to show rural women activities in a community and their contribution to the society in respective fields. It shows that rural women were acknowledged more in online newspaper regarding their contribution to the economy using initiative provided by the government to sustain their household income. Online news reporting regarding rural women were portrayed during the reign of Pakatan Harapan. This is due to the Minister of Women, Family and Community Development is appointed as Deputy Prime Minister at that time. So there are incentives for women that benefit rural women as well. During the end of the year of Barisan Nasional ruling, former Prime Minister Najib Razak has introduced Women Empowerment Year in 2018 as the most prominent event for women to gender equality, economy, and health. However, issues on politics were getting more intention as the general election were held at the same year. So it is indicated that the transition of government had an impact on the portrayals of rural women. It is essential for the media to provide opportunities for rural women to achieve their potential because they are considered among the marginalized group in the news portrayals. Besides, issues concerning rural women should be highlighted more as the authorities or responsible agencies can take appropriate actions in tackling the problems. So it is important to promote rural women's empowerment in online news as it knowledge the public about the roles of rural women in society.